I like this Amazon, but she is just so scarred up. A lot of the old pulp magazines from the 1930s would feature these slinky femme fatales in evening dresses, domino masks, and always carrying a gun or something like that. But I did the ink drawing and I just shot a little black and white, some tones on it. I don't have a name for her yet, but I'm calling her Lady 38 because she carries like two 38s with which she dispenses justice. And also, probably her bust size is about a 38. But I also figure she was nicknamed Lady 38 by the cops, who always take a look at her cleavage when she shows up to explain or solve crimes. So she's Lady 38, but she's also Lady 38. So from my folder of uncompleted drawings, I took this one out, which was, they're really formless in there. They're just kind of a bunch of lines sketched together. But I took this one out, finished off the pencils, inked it up, and made this Amazon out of it. I usually try to make my Amazons look like they can fight or they have been fighting. I like them to look kind of strong and capable. I've never really been a fan too much of like the people who take like glamour models and swimsuit models and make them over into Amazons. I don't know. It's kind of dated and it looks kind of stupid. That's not something I want to do. If you pick up a sword and shield and put on armor, you better mean it. Although with this one, looking back, I feel like I really went overboard with the scarring. I mean, that is just a tremendous scar over her eye. And look over there, you can see the chip out of her ear, like she's a cat fighting on the streets or something, and comes home all scarred up. But I pushed it a little bit, and I'm just going to leave it and accept it. And I might even do a little more scarring here and there as I do draw Amazons in the future. So you can see the figures. There's no background. I ended up separating the figure from the background because I might use it somewhere else. I do this a lot now. I kind of make art so that I can take it apart and repurpose it for other things. But this one was cool. It came out nice. Here is the whole figure here. And just so you can see, there's like a fire on the ground, so I have the light, the firelight coming up from that area. And later on, because she's in a certain environment, I made a little moonlight on the other side coming through the cracks in a stone wall. When I was a kid buying comics off the newsstand, one of my favorite story runs was Jim Starlin's run on Captain Marvel back in the day. I never liked the DC Fawcett Captain Marvel. He always seemed like a cartoon character to me, not a real superhero. He had those Orphan Annie eyes and stuff, and that just wasn't my thing. The psychedelic weirdo comics that Jim Starlin was doing just really got me going. I really enjoyed them, and I really got into them a lot. So because I love those comics so much, I had taken the time to just vandalize some of the panels. And so you can read this one and see what it is that I did here, which was it's kind of stupid, but it's just something I might do in weird moments when I have a second or two. The 70s were kind of a little weird for comics because there were some artists that were just doing things that were not being done in comics at the time. The kind of female figures that Jim Starlin was drawing were not seen in the comics. I mean, when you look at how he was depicting Una at the time, she didn't look like Lois Lane, who was just prim and proper in kind of a business suit reporting stuff. Nah, she had like giant jugs and a skin-tight outfit. So me being a young lad buying comics, it wasn't the only reason I bought Jim Starlin's Captain Marvel run, but it was one of the reasons, and I'm not going to lie about that.